quite challenging breaking away from narcissistic people. We can just think, usually we're led to believe that they've been through a troublesome past, and as we can all have been through some form of trauma, you can empathise with them, you can feel sorry for them. Narcissistic people have a way of making you feel guilty for daring to no longer put up with their abusive behaviour towards you. Narcissistic people tend to go on the defensive. So they go on the defensive in a manner of attacking you so that you feel guilty, you feel remorseful, so that you try to help them in some way, so that you try to support them. And whenever you're helping them or supporting them, they're just helping themselves to your stuff. They're just helping themselves to your time, to your validation. They're gaining an alibi from you. They're gaining a supporter. They're getting what they want from you. And you'll often notice with a narcissist, once their needs have been met by you, they up and leave you and discard you. And then they come back with all the victim plays. There's a few things that you need to remember when dealing with narcissistic people, because you can care about them. There's nothing wrong with caring about them. There's nothing wrong with hating them, as long as you can process and move on to a happier life for you and remove all the negativity that they instilled into you, out of you. There's nothing wrong with wanting to see karma hit them. There's nothing wrong with wanting them to recover and do well. However, they're still not the person that they sold themselves to be to you, because they sold themselves to be you. They borrowed your dreams, they borrowed your hopes, they borrowed your hobbies, so that you felt like you'd met somebody who would always enjoy the things that you enjoy and create that desire to achieve those things together. We can often want our parents to love us and be there for us and be pleased for us and know we've got those to go to for support. So it's very challenging walking away from narcissistic partners, narcissistic friends, that childhood friend, narcissistic parents. They raised us. Not only did they raise us, they also managed to instill fear of what would happen if we walk away. They will threaten to take your inheritance, and they create it so you're codependent on their money, and then use that against you, which is when you got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet, as challenging as that can be. They condition you to be grateful to us, and they condition you to feel guilty for living your own life, for not going to visit them. They don't want to see you going to live your own life. They had you to serve them, and you were usually an inconvenience to them. You're the one that stopped them from achieving. Therefore, you need to put your life on the back burner to serve them. It's hard walking away from these kinds of people. It's hard not wanting to see the good in people. However, when narcissistic people are being good, they're being exploitative. So a few things to remember when dealing with a narcissistic person: when you're starting to feel bad about going no contact, about grey rocking them, starting to feel like other people might be judging you, other people's judgment is not for you. They haven't lived your life. It's none of their business. Let them think whatever they want. You know your motives, you know your intentions, you know the turmoil you've gone through to make the decisions that you are making and sticking by them. So one of the first things to remember when you're dealing with a narcissistic person is they are pathologically envious of other people. They do not want to see other people succeed. They do not want to see other people do well. You'll often notice this with just how badly they talk about people who have achieved something or done something. They often try to sabotage you, either in subtle covert ways or obvious overt ways, to stop you from achieving, or they try to take the credit for your achievement. They try to attack your motives in some way to stop you from doing something. They try to attack your confidence and your abilities to stop you from believing that you are capable of doing something, because they are pathologically envious of other people. They would rather see you suffer than see you do well. They only want to see you happy if they're the sole reason for your happiness. They always believe they're right. We all make mistakes. We all get things wrong. We all have new evidence that comes to light and think, and I used to believe that and now I'm wrong. It's not a nice place to be. However, with a narcissist, they're not wrong. You're wrong. Someone else's fault. They don't do mistakes. You're the one that did a mistake. So no matter how you try to approach something with them, communicate with them about something, they are always going to be right. And with them always going to be right, they're always going to make out that you are the one that is in the wrong. Nothing is ever their fault. They're innocent in it all. They're not to blame. You're to blame. And because nothing is ever their fault, they're going to make you feel like everything is down to you, like you're the one that's ruining everything for them because they don't take responsibility for their behaviour. They will not be held responsible. They'll find a scapegoat to blame and shame instead. They don't feel guilty. They don't feel guilty. They lack the empathy. They just have that self-serving empathy where they might feel a moment of shame if somebody else's perceived judgment of them looks poorly on them, which is why they will quickly find a way to shift the blame onto somebody else so that they can humiliate and shame somebody else. They will sink you to save themselves every single time. They're not interested in how their lies or their deception affects you. They're interested in saving their own skin. They don't care about you. They lack the empathy to care about you. The only time they're treating you right is when they want something from you. And once they've got that thing from you, they often begin to devalue you all over again, and they expect eternal gratitude. If you don't bow down to them, if you don't become submissive and agreeable to them, then you're the one that doesn't appreciate them. Even though life's about give and take, that 50-50. We can all have a bad day where we're just drained and we can't, and somebody takes over and puts 80 to 100 in and you're putting 0 to 20. And then when they're having a bad day, it swaps. And that's the way life is. When a narcissist wants something, they will go overboard in spoiling you to get their needs met by you. And then once their needs have been met, they drop you like a hot potato and move on to a new source of supply. They don't want to understand you. They're not interested in understanding where you're coming from. They're interested in what they can use against you to hurt you, to punish you. The more you explain to them how you feel, the more they're going to use your feelings against you to hurt you all the more. They don't want you. They don't want to understand you. They don't want you to understand them. They only want you to understand their manipulation and their exploitation. So if they're playing the victim, they want you to understand that they're the victim. They are committed to getting you to misunderstand them so that they can exploit you and get their needs met by you. The deeply insecure people, not that they would ever admit to this, because not all insecure people go around destroying other people. Insecure people can go around destroying other people. Insecure people can go around going over the top to please people, to make sure somebody doesn't feel the same way that they do. Go all out to help another person, put another person before themselves. So not all insecure people are narcissistic people. There's plenty of insecure people who do their utmost to help and support others. We can confuse a narcissist exploitation of us as them being willing to help us when they're actually exploiting us. A genuine, secure person does not feel a need to bash everybody else, to bring everybody else down. They do not feel a need to sabotage other people, to watch other people suffer, to watch other people fail, because they are secure and certain within themselves. The difference being with a narcissist, they actually believe that they are in the right. They believe that it's not their fault. They kind of have that self-righteous attitude of how someone deserved their mistreatment, to sort of believe that they're almost the almighty and all-powerful one. So when it comes to a narcissist, they are incredibly insecure people, but some of them will not even know this within themselves, because they rewrite it within their own mind how everyone else is the problem. And the more you forgive them, the worse their behaviour will get. Narcissistic people just learn how to get away with their behaviour, how to exploit you. The more you forgive a narcissist, the worse their behaviour will get, because they're just learning what works to get their needs met by you. Yes, when you walk away, they're going to go all out to make you feel guilty. They're going to go all out to make you feel ashamed. They're going to go all out to humiliate you. They're going to go all out to make it feel like you're the one who can't communicate. You're the one who can't compromise. You're the one who's unwilling. You're the one that's being unreasonable. You're the one that's being irrational. You're the one that's being unfair. That's because they're no longer getting what they want from you. So they want to make you feel bad, so that you either feel bad and go back to them, or those around you form a poor opinion of you based on the rumours that the narcissist is spreading about you, and the narcissist feels smug because they've isolated you from everybody because they're insecure. They don't want people finding out the truth. So they're going to damage your credibility. They're going to damage what other people think about you. They're going to damage the trust and the faith that other people have in you, so that they can save their own skin. Narcissistic people are out to serve themselves, protect themselves, and save themselves. They're not interested in you. They're interested in getting their needs met by you. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the video description, into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. And a book out, which I'll link that into also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.